Hey guys, welcome back to Shotgun Nation. Thanks so much for coming back down to the channel. Today we got another bullpup to review. I know we just did one last week, and we've actually got 2 more to do in the next week or so also, so just sit tight and prepare yourself for those. There's so many of them on the market right now, I just kind of want to check them all out. But a big thank you to Tactical Sportsman Armory up in Northwest Arkansas for sending today's bullpup. They've got several of them in stock, so go check them out if today's review interests you. I believe they have a website. It'll be right here, and if they don't, it'll not be right here. Anyway, so stay tuned. I'll tell you more about this bullpup coming up here real quick. Alright guys, here it is. So this is the Tristar Compact. It's their 12 gauge bullpup shotgun. It's a full shotgun in there. The barrel actually starts about right here. It's a full 18-inch barrel in there. All they've done is they moved the trigger system from the rear to the front, thus making it a bullpup. You can see that this is an AK platform inside. It does have the AK style safety switch. It also uses the same piston system in the top here. Also, it comes with a lot of stuff in the box. So we've got a vertical foregrip that you can put on. It goes on this rail right here, and it's going to be necessary because I don't think you want to hold on to that rail. It does come with 2 of the 5-round magazines, which is nice. And you'll notice that these are a rock and lock style magazine, much like the AK and Saiga style shotguns out there. However, you cannot use drums in this. It's not the same. It is very much different. You might be able to use other Saiga style magazines in this, but even the other Turkish magazines that look similar to this don't quite fit right. So we will check this out and see if they have more offerings as far as capacity goes, but it is nice that they come with 2 of those. It's got a carry handle here, which offers a front and rear sight, much like the AR-15. That's also made of a polymer, except for this side. This piece of the rail here seems to be aluminum. The rest of it appears to be polymer. If you don't want to use that, you've also got these flip-up sights that you can use. It also comes with your sight adjustment tool, which is nice of them. Has a choke tube removal and installation tool, and there's a variety of tools that come with this as well. Disassembly instructions are inside, but I'm telling you, it involves a lot of tools. It's not a real easy takedown necessarily. I wouldn't call that a deal breaker, but I'm a big fan of the easy to break down shotguns, easy to break down for cleaning and stuff like that. You'll notice on the end here there is a choke installed. And also this key feature, this is a vertical charging handle. So when you're using the short bullpup, reaching up and over to charge this thing is kind of awkward, whether you use your left hand or your right hand. So this is a solution I believe they come up with, and you'll notice that there's a spot on the front right here where this screw inside goes down into that. So essentially you'll loosen that nut, install on top, and then tighten it back down. And that gives you something to reach up and over to grab to charge it, as opposed to reaching all the way up and over and smacking yourself in the face. But we're going to check out those ergonomics in a moment when you see me trying to operate this. So once installed, that's pretty much how it's going to look. It will be sitting further down onto the bolt handle, and the screw will be recessed in further once you actually hit the spot that it needs to go to. But again, since this is on loan from Tactical Sportsman Armory, I don't want to do any modifications to it. We're taking this back to them in a day or so. So let's go ahead and install this vertical foregrip. This screw right here keeps it locked into its place, keeps it from moving forward and backwards. And just a real quick install for the carry handle here, if you decide to use that. We're going to remove both of these, and you will take off this side of the rail. At that point in time, you should just be able to set it on wherever you want it, right about there. And then on the other side, you're going to just replace the rail and put these back on. There you go, that's how it looks with the carry handle on it. It's really got that that halo aesthetic now, right? I mentioned in the other video that these things really end up looking like space guns a lot of the time. With that option, you definitely get that space gun look to it. If that's what you want, this might be for you. If it's not what you want, put the flip-up sights back on, or do something else, I guess. So the front and rear sights are both really easy to install. There's no tools necessary. It just uses this push button here. When you push that, it pushes that out of the way and allows you to slide it on directly from the front. Again, squeeze, slide until you hear it click into place, and that's it. And these two little buttons here on either side allow it to pop up. There you go. There's your front and there's your rear. Wanted to point out a feature on these pop-up sights. Without raising them up, it actually has a set of rear and front sights for super low profile. Now, looking through, I have a really hard time getting down low enough to look through those, but that is a pretty neat option that they have those there. Matter of fact, if you just wanted to leave the front down, you could use that more or less as a bead sight to get you right on target. We're going to be loading these up with some Fiocchi ammo today, some 1300 FPS. And we'll see if this gun's going to cycle this type of ammunition fresh out of the box. A lot of these manufacturers require a break-in period. You know, they tell you to use some really heavy loads for about 50 to 100 rounds. But without putting ourselves out of a bunch of money today, we're going to start off with the light stuff and see how this thing performs. So there's the 5 rounds for that magazine. We'll put 5 more in this one. And we're going to go shoot the shotgun. See how it works. Alright, so before we load this thing up, let's talk about its ergonomics a little bit. The bullpup I did in the past had a charging handle that was way up here, very easy to access. This one's a little different. So you're either going to be reaching out to the side, again, if you decide to install this or not. You'll be reaching over here to charge, which isn't too hard, but I don't like removing my hand from my shooting position here. So with the vertical handle, you should be able to reach over and grab it a little easier. But we'll see how that works. I can already tell you that we're going to want to move that rear sight up forward a little bit so it's not in the way of that. So anyway, so we're here, we fire. You're still going to have to remove your face out of the way. You're going to hit yourself in the face for sure. Again, with this side, you're going to be removing your hand from the shooting position. So it is what it is. It doesn't feel bad in the hands, but you know, your safety switch is back over here. Oh, there's my target. Oh, safety. So maybe if it's hanging, if you've got it on like a sling or something and it's hanging up here, you want your ergonomics close, I guess. Like, oh, bad guy. Unsafe. I don't know. The ergonomics are a little rudimentary in my opinion. But let's not judge it too much before we shoot it. Let's go ahead and get some rounds through it and see what we think. I already tell you that you have to have the bolt locked to the rear. Now, how do we lock it to the rear? Oh, wow. To do that, there's a small button right up inside there, and you gotta somehow figure out how to try to do that. Then, no, it loads right up after that. So it's gonna be a con, in my opinion, right offhand here. So on other AK style shotguns that have the same type of situation, you can hit that while still holding onto your grip and push that up and then pull your bolt back. Fortunately with this, it's going to require you to move your hands, push this button, and then lock it back. So that is what that is. Let's see if it locks open after the last round. If it locks itself open, that might be okay, because then you can just go and load your next magazine right away. So first of all, let's see if it's going to cycle this really light bird shot fresh out of the box. Well, I don't know if you would consider that a locking back or not. Again, this is fresh out of the box. I really didn't expect it to run all those, so I'm kind of impressed so far. So regardless of that, it does not have a last round bolt hold open. You will have to manipulate this every single time. And already this handle's starting to get a little wobbly. Maybe I can tighten it up now. Alright, so I went ahead and removed that the vertical charging handle. Let's run some more rounds and see if it's going to hang up again. Cycled those rounds just fine. Again, very awkward type of bolt locking system there. So I'm going to do my best to show you how to do a quick reload with the Compact Tristar 12 gauge bullpup. The ergonomics are a little tricky, so you're going to pull this back with your thumb and then press the button with your finger to lock the bolt back open, because you cannot load it on a closed bolt. But once that's inserted, you're good to go. So let's see if I can do this on the fly here. So that's about the quickest you're probably going to get. You might notice in a few of the clips that the blue shotgun shells that I'm using are getting hung up on the very last round. That's because those are very low power rounds. Again, I wanted to try to see if it was going to work right out of the box with that low stuff. It actually functions very well on the low power stuff, in my opinion, because over time it's just going to get better and better. But as you can see, once we switched over to the heavier loads, it operated perfectly fine. So if you were actually going to use buckshot or slugs or something of that nature, you won't have any of this break-in issue. The thing is people like to get out there with the cheapest ammo possible, with the lightest rounds possible, so they don't have to deal with recoil because they just want to shoot rounds and have fun. And more power to them, do that. But don't expect your shotgun to work properly right out of the box like that. Give it some good heavy rounds, 50 to 100 rounds or so, and I bet you'll be cycling with no issues whatsoever. So we're going to keep putting more rounds through this using the light birdshot again. Alright guys, so the only issue I've noticed so far, other than the ergonomics, and that could just be me, is the last round is not wanting to clear the ejection port before the bolt slams back onto it. And that's more to do with the break-in time frame and the light loads that we're using. They recommend using heavy loads. If you use heavy loads right out of the box, you're probably never going to see that issue. But it will break in. It may take a few extra rounds to do it. We're about 50 to 75 rounds into it, and I'm now getting good ejection even on the last round. So let that be a testament to what they tell you to do. Follow the manufacturer's recommendations, and your firearm will be working properly. But if you pick this thing up and you try to shove light loads into it right out of the box, don't go calling up their customer service with issues. Do the right thing. Spend the time, spend the money, get out there, break it in, get the thing working right. At least give it a shot before you go to the manufacturers crying about how your light loads don't work well. Anyway, so 50 to 75 rounds into it. Let's see how it runs now. There we go, all 5 rounds, no issue, and that's been consistent for the past 3 magazines. So don't let those few video clips scare you away when the shell gets hung up in there. That's a completely regular part of the break-in process. Again, here, we'll load up just one more in there to show you guys that it's ejecting that last round just perfect now, no problem whatsoever. So I do like the firearm. It is functioning the way it's supposed to. It's just those ergonomics probably just aren't for me. But I'd love for you guys to put your hands on one and check it out and see if maybe it's good for you. Maybe with a good sling setup or something, it might make these controls a little bit more understandable. But in my opinion, nice firearm. Does have some critiques to it. Is it worth your time and money? I'd say yes. Is it exactly what you want? That's up for you to decide. Alright guys, well that's it. Again, go check out Tactical Sportsman Armory. They're the ones who helped us get our hands on one of these compact Tristars, so we got a big, huge shout out of appreciation to them for helping us keep up with content on the channel. Hopefully we answered a lot of questions. Maybe we raised up some more questions. I'm not really sure. But we've got a comment section down below. Make sure you use that. We appreciate all the support, all the likes and shares and subscriptions and comments and everything that you guys do to help keep our channel alive. I personally really do appreciate it. We also have a Facebook group. If you go to facebook.com/groups/slug life, you'll find our shotgun group. We talk just about shotguns. That's really all we talk about. But we also have giveaways and other things that you might be concerned with. So do come join our group. Also, we have a Facebook page, facebook.com/shotgun culture. There you're going to find just a lot of stupid content that we create. But basically, it's the public entryway into the group. So do come check us out. We really hope to see you there. And until next time.